G'day there guys, my name's Marky and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. With that said, sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the Barbie, let's get right into it. Cheers. Would I be the asshole here for asking for paternity test because I don't remember getting her pregnant? This is more of a request for advice than am I the asshole post, but here it is. I, male 35, have been with my wife, female 33, for the last 10 years, and we got married 3 years ago. For the past 6 months, our sex life has been non-existent, mainly because I travel for work a couple of times a month. When I'm home, I work long hours. I try my best to help with housework and spend time with my wife, but I pass out the second that I lie down. My energy level is depleted. My wife quit her job when we got married, so I can't just take a break from work. It was her choice, I had no say in it. Today, she told me that she's pregnant. I was shocked because the last time we had sex was many months ago, so I joked, "You got pregnant from cuddling? That's the closest we've had to intimacy." And she kept insisting, "Don't you remember?" I told her that I honestly didn't, and she said, "Well, we started making out and then you kinda passed out, so I just rode you." Oh well. And she giggled. I asked her, "While I was passed out?" And she said, "No, you were kind of awake. You had a big smile afterward. What's the big deal here?" I told her that I would at least remember some of it. Come on. And she got mad and asked if I was accusing her of something, and I said no, but I'm just very confused. Am I the asshole for thinking my wife might have cheated on me? I've been home on occasion, so my traveling hasn't been constant. Do I need her permission to get a paternity test? If she hasn't cheated, why don't I feel happy and joyful? I feel like an asshole. In the comments, OK Scheme says, "Your response has got to be, so either you cheated or you assaulted me. Not the asshole. Get the paternity test and I'm sorry for what's happening to you." OP replies, "Buddy, I work like a dog. I work so many hours, it's unreal. No, I haven't satisfied my wife in 6 months. I've been shamed by my brother already. My energy and sex drive is 0. I don't see her as a cheater, it was just a dumb thought." Why would your brother be so invested in your marriage, or your wife for that matter? Definitely suspicious, very suspicious. OP says, "My brother basically raised me because my dad was an alcoholic, abusive piece of shit. He has always protected me, and I always respected him. He's a very tough guy and believes that I need to man up and don't be a whiny pussy, and I should focus on my wife and the baby instead of overthinking and ruining my marriage." Quote, "He has always protected me." Now, I'm not jumping on the brother is the father train just yet, but it is a little suspect that someone that's always protected you isn't jumping to try to protect you now from potential paternity fraud. I could believe a tough guy that tells people to man up trying to split hairs about the unconscious sex being assault, but I do have a hard time believing that a tough guy would be so cavalier about his little brother being cheated on and unknowingly raising another man's child. No matter what you do, get a DNA test before it's too late. Good old faking memory loss gaslighting. It's either gaslighting and she cheated, or it's assault. I'm so alarmed by her description of how they apparently had sex. She's giggling and saying that you were kinda passed out, so I just rode you? What the hell? How about don't ride people that aren't conscious? Jesus effing Christ. Also, the fact that she made the decision to quit her job and you completely support her while you had no say in the matter is such a shitty entitled thing to do. This isn't an equal partnership. You should have a say in the matter if the consequences of her actions mean that you have to completely finance all her needs. I completely agree. Best case scenario here is she casually admits to assaulting him and giggles about it. That's horrifying. Yeah, the giggling while admitting that he wasn't conscious makes it even worse. I looked at some of OP's comments, and he said that when he confided in his brother, quote, "called me a whiny pussy and told me to be grateful that she still wanted to have sex with you. He said that I was a failure as a husband, and that's why my wife had to please herself this way, and I should stop bitching." What? OP should be grateful that his wife assaulted him? Hell nah. I was gonna say that the paternity test is the least of your worries, but now that I think on it further, you definitely need a paternity test. But, If it does turn out that your brother is the father, I don't know how that works on paternity testing. This is just such a messy and all-round disgusting situation. I think you need to get her to write that down somewhere. Get some solid proof of her words and her accusations and her little giggling, and get straight to the police, my man. Get straight to a lawyer and do what you gotta do against this vile excuse of a woman. Get rid of your brother as soon as possible as well, because what is going on there? And protect yourself with as many legal avenues as possible. Absolutely not the asshole here. What the hell? Updates. I got a lot of DMs asking for an update. I'll be seeing a lawyer this week, and then I can share more. I checked her phone, I'm not proud of it, and yes, she and my brother bonded over feeling like lonely spouses who were neglected by their partners. While I was away for work trips, he would tell his wife that he was working night shifts and would have sleepovers at our place. They both acknowledged how the arrangement felt both right and wrong, as neither of them wanted to leave their spouses, but still enjoyed the physical and emotional aspects of the affair. When I confronted her, she got angry about me going through her phone and said she felt violated. Honestly, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She insisted the baby is probably mine because we've been having quickies. According to her, it happened more than once, when I was half asleep, and she said, "I only wanted your baby." Ugh, God, gross. I told her that I don't believe a single word she says. I told her she needs to move out and we'll figure out what to do after a paternity test. I also told her that I'm cancelling all her extracurricular activities because they're not my responsibility anymore. She said that I'm financially abusing her, but to be honest, I really didn't care. I told her that I'd be coming to her next baby appointment because I need to talk to our family doctor. She's currently staying at her best friend's place. Today, she messaged me saying she's spotting and blaming me for it, claiming that I've stressed her out and increased her chances of miscarriage. She said I'm a shitty father and an abusive spouse. Honestly, I'm not even sure if she's ever been pregnant. I asked if she needed a ride to the hospital or her friend's address so that I could take her. She didn't answer. So here I am. I blocked my brother from everywhere. I don't have a brother anymore. In the comments, Gameboy330 says, "Tell your brother's wife everything." And OP says, "I already have. I sent her the screenshots of their messages and then blocked both her and my brother. I don't care anymore about him." Well done, OP. Screw your brother and ex. Hopefully your parents and extended family see why you did this and don't side with him. Hopefully your sister-in-law takes him for everything in any divorce. I'll say the same thing I said last time. Someone who didn't want to have sex with you sober isn't going to SA, because that's what it is, you in your sleep. If she really is pregnant, it's probably your brother's or someone else's. Brother makes sense because you share DNA and she could pass it off as yours regardless of how it looks. Definitely do the DNA test. OP would have been financially abusive if he told her to quit her job. She did that on her own volition, and therefore she really screwed around and found out. I just did a quick search so someone can correct me if I'm wrong. If OP hadn't discovered the cheating, there might have been enough genetic markers to strongly suggest that he's the father, if his brother had actually knocked up OP's wife. There is more testing that can be done in cases like this if the center knows the potential fathers are brothers. How diabolical of the soon-to-be ex and brother. Am I the asshole for being indifferent that she may be spotting? The genetic markers may have been similar, but there would still be enough to say that OP isn't the father. I feel like he's done everything he can here to look out for himself, and yeah, good job OP for everything that you've done. She continues to try to manipulate you and project everything that she's done onto you. How are you abusive here exactly? How are you the one stressing her out like, "Oh no, I got caught and now I'm stressed. This is your fault for catching me. Now my spotting is your fault. You're a monster." The projection is honestly blinding me. The light is so harsh on my eyes. Oh no. It's terrible when the consequences of my actions finally catch up with me. Terrible that. She deserves the worst. Keep your brother blocked and move on with your life, OP. I hope things get better from here for you. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Our next post is by user Erilyn, titled, Am I the asshole here for not wanting to talk to my now ex-boyfriend after he almost sabotaged my college life? I, 21 female, was dating someone, 21 male, for a year. We hit it off really well when we first started, and at the time, I'd just gotten out of an abusive relationship with someone else. However, after December of 2022, things were nothing but downhill. My boyfriend at the time had gotten kicked out of his father's house, so he was living with me in my grandmother's house for a short period. Unfortunately, I ended up getting kicked out of there for a lot of things that also happened within my family, so I moved back in with my parents, while my boyfriend moved in with his brother a month or so later. While he stayed with his brother, he got a job at Wendy's, but I noticed that his demeanor towards me started to change rapidly. He would yell at me a lot for defending myself in regards to his friends, would block me anytime an argument took place over silly things, and he even broke up with me before because I had asked him for $50 for laundry after doing his laundry and my own when we were living together, and other things I did to provide for us because we were in a dark place. I never understood why he changed or why he acted this way. But this past month and 3 weeks really take the cake. So fast forward to November. We had already gotten back together at this point. He was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel with his friends, and he was losing. I tried asking him why he was upset, but he got angry with me, and then claimed the next day that I was condescending, and because of that, we were no longer together. Then later in the month, he had asked me to pick him up from work because he had had a horrible day. And on my way to him, he said that things have changed since the separation. I only hang around you when I have nothing better to do or I'm bored. After he said that, I was crushed and even decided that I didn't want to celebrate my birthday by the time the 27th came. We officially called things off when the Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing took place, but I really told him off after he said that comment, so by my birthday, it has been clear that we were broken up. I had a friend in college, 19 male, who's the same age as my baby sister. We hit it off and got really close as we were working on my college project for my final. My ex didn't like that at all, going as far as to hack into my Google account 2 nights ago and delete all of my files. Even a late essay that I'd just turned in to my professor so he couldn't access the file at all. I was infuriated because he deleted a whole semester's and then some's worth of work. Even my resumes were gone, so I had to contact Google Assistants to get all my files back. Mind you, this is after already having an argument the night before and him getting physical with me to the point where I almost passed out on my staircase because he was choking me. How are you still staying with this guy? Run! He is going to kill you! He came to get his stuff the other night and apologized for everything and wouldn't stop crying. I consoled him, but I told him that I needed to be away from him and that I didn't want to speak to him because his shit hurt, and had I not gotten back my files, I would have likely failed my very first semester of college. Now I don't know what to do because it hurts a lot, and though he said he understood, he got mad at me for not talking to him yesterday, even though he knows that he's restricted and blocked everywhere. Am I the asshole here? In the comments, Montana Wild Women says, "Not the asshole. He's abusing you. Block him off everything. He's not a friend. He's an enemy trying to destroy your future. If you value your safety in schooling, you need to cut him off completely. And call the cops if he pulls any more stunts. Turn on 2-factor authentication on everything and change all passwords." Not the asshole. Being choked by your partner increases the likelihood of being murdered by him by 700%. Stay away from him. He is dangerous, and be safe. Back up to the post, there is an update. Jesus, it's really been a bit over 3 months since I uploaded this. Thank you for your opinions, everyone. I do have a huge update on said matter, so I'll try to sum it up as much as I can. So, my ex tried to leak explicit images of me after I left for my trip to North Carolina. I also found out on Christmas that my ex had done things with my cousin, and they both lied to me, after I went to my cousin and vented. So there's that little sum up. Currently I'm with someone else, 23 male, and I haven't heard from my ex or my cousin after finding out everything and confronting them. As far as my schoolwork goes, I'm currently doing my spring semester and still trying to pick up the pieces bit by bit, but I've been healing and mentally I'm in a better situation. Thanks again for those who listened. This is a roller coaster ride, I really don't know what to say. Am I the asshole for not wanting to talk to my ex-boyfriend after he tried to ruin my college career? Are you the asshole for not going to the police and reporting him for choking you and nearly passing out? More so to yourself, not just in general there. Very interesting that the saga continues here, but I hope that you keep yourself safe and you listen to the comments and do what they tell you to do, because you may well be putting your life in unnecessary danger. Update. Hi everyone. Before I get into what I need assistance with, I want to first take this time and thank everyone who responded last time to both my other posts. I appreciate all the advice given, and it's helped me use Reddit as a way to release. Now onto the issue at hand. So I took everyone's advice, and I stopped talking to the ex in question. However, a lot has happened in between then and now. My ex couldn't handle us not being together and decided to not only leak explicit images of me on an old account that I used to control. Don't worry, I was able to delete it and kick him out of all the accounts that he had access to. I had also found out the night before he leaked these videos and photos that he had done it with my cousin, 21 female, on Christmas night after she had reassured me with me and my at-the-time friend, 19 female, that she would talk to him and help me find a middle ground because of his behavior. She knew about him deleting my schoolwork, hacking into my other stuff, and being physically and emotionally abusive towards me. She actually spoke up on me leaving him a few times and said she was proud when I finally made the move to do so. When I found out that she slept with my ex, I confronted her, due to the fact that a few days before this, she had admitted to me that they kissed, but swore to me that that's all they did, and that they just had a few drinks and apologized to me. Obviously, that wasn't the case anymore. It's actually pretty funny. I was playing Mario Kart with my friends, and my ex somehow texted me on Snapchat from a different account, and his exact words were, "I'm gonna F up your night. Me and your cousin didn't just kiss, we banged. Cry about it," along with a bunch of other colorful words. He also said he was doing this since she made it clear that we weren't cool anymore. I'd also like to point out that this was during my first vacation, so I was not at home during any of this. When I finally reach home, however, my cousin argues with me on Snapchat, essentially trying to justify her actions, and argues with my friend and says disrespectful things about her family, etc. It was a lot, and after that, we didn't speak to each other for a couple of months. After this, however, give it maybe March or April-ish, I decided to forgive her and move on from everything for my mental health, but to keep her at a distance due to me not wanting to open up again. She, however, didn't like that, and insisted that it wasn't fair that I didn't want to listen, and how I let my friend shame her due to what she did and refused to understand the point that I was making. So it broke out into an all-out war with my ex somehow getting access to one of my alt accounts and telling me to stop talking to my cousin, which let me know that they were still talking. So by that point, I dropped it all together. Now, months later, my cousin has messaged my Instagram after months of not talking to me, saying that she wants to reconcile, and says that it's unfair that I was willing to drop it and forgive my ex and not her first. Even though I did forgive her first, and she chose not to listen to me, and basically that because we are family, I should be able to reach out and forgive her. I upfront told her that if we were family, you wouldn't have done what you did to me and lied to my face. I haven't spoken to her since that day, but she keeps apologizing and telling me that she loves me and my friend, who I don't speak to anymore. I don't know what to do here. I don't want to talk to her, but I don't want to essentially abandon someone that I've grown up with for years. I feel like I have mixed emotions. So would I be the asshole for not talking to her? Mini update. Hello everyone. I noticed all the new comments and have been reading them as much as I can. Thank you again for all the support and honest opinions. I know all of this seems drama-filled and I apologize for that. It was really bothering me mentally on how to handle it. To explain why, we aren't cousins by blood, but rather were raised to believe that we were by our parents, so I always kept that loyal regard that we were cousins regardless of the matter. So I still considered her family aside from the fact. It took a lot for me to block her, but I know it's for the best. I have great news. My mother just helped me get a new phone entirely, and since I'll be going to college in North Carolina for classes, I won't be using my current phone anymore unless needed. As far as my cousin goes, as I said yesterday, she is currently and still is blocked. Neither she or he has tried reaching out to me, so lucky for that. As for those of you who were asking why I hadn't got a restraining order against my ex or anything, the last I heard, he's currently in Maine, so he's nowhere near me. And since he doesn't know where I'm moving to and doesn't know anyone that I currently talk to in North Carolina, I'm honestly sure that I may be fine. But for the extra precaution, I plan to look into the matter in the off chance that I run into him at any point, though I honestly doubt that will be the case. I'm currently taking my art major in RCC right now, and will be continuing to do so, and focusing on myself, as I also stated previously. Thank you all again for your kind words and honesty. It really means a lot, and it's helped me look at it from a better angle. In the comments, someone asks, why did you casually say that you forgave your cousin before him? Why would you forgive him? Oh my god. OP says, I had to explain that because when me and my cousin first argued, she believed that I decided that I'd forgive him for the shit that he did before forgiving her for what she did. And as I said in my original post, I forgave the entire situation, but wanted to keep away for my own sanity. The moment I found out they slept together, and everything else he already did, took a lot out of me at the time, and it was badly affecting my physical and mental health. So I had decided that it was best to mentally forgive, but not forget, and keep them away. Which in my original post I had explained to my cousin the first time we spoke about what she did, and I made the choice to forgive her. She, however, didn't like that and accused me of forgiving him and not forgiving her first. I don't know where she got the idea that I forgave him before her, because I never said nor told her that I did. So my guess is that they were probably still talking when I made the choice to forgive her the first time and to drop the issue entirely for my own sake. OP made another comment on a different sub regarding her cousin. Wow, I didn't think that this was going to get that much attention. Thank you all for your opinions, everyone. I have taken the time to announce that I have blocked my cousin, and I'll be taking a break off Instagram for a while, since I barely have been using social medias as of late. Currently I'm doing okay. I'm taking my classes online, and have been taking my time as I prepare to move out of New York City. Thank you all again for your advice and opinions. As far as my cousin goes, I haven't heard anything since before making this choice and our previous conversation. So hopefully this will be the last time. Thank you all again for your comments and honest advice. In the comments, Lemmy Historian says, Girl, just stop engaging with these people in any way, shape or form. Just stop and seek therapy. She really should seek therapy and be single for a while. She got with her ex after she'd already been in one abusive relationship, and then 3 months after this second abusive relationship ended, she's already with someone else. It doesn't bode well for her. Now that I'm older, I wish that I could really instill in younger women a belief that it's better to be alone than in a relationship in which you are not respected and valued. Unfortunately, I think they have to learn it for themselves, for the message to stick. So the dude physically and emotionally abused her over and over, almost killed her, ruined all of her schoolwork, and made her fail her very first semester, did some revenge porn here and there, cheated on her at least once. But she forgave him? Like, what the hell did I just read? Why did she not do anything like, I don't know, taking legal precautions? She managed to recover her documents. Yay Google! So didn't fail, but otherwise, yup. They think it's normal. Everyone goes through this stuff. Being in an abusive relationship breaks your normal meter. And lots of communities do the toxic stuff like this because family, or because it really is normal to tolerate this kind of toxic bullshit. If those are the behaviors your family models for you, you're set up for failure. Not to say that means that you're trapped in it. Plenty of people get out and experience new things, look back and go, holy shit, why did I think that was okay, and break the cycle, but lots of others just don't. Yeah, we're very much looking at someone that is not ready to break that cycle, and I'm unsure if they will. 3 relationships back to back to back like that, after going through so much trauma and so much hardship, that one's going to take a while to fix, Chief, and I feel like she's going to get to that point one day that those other commenters did, being like, holy shit, why did I put up with that? Why couldn't I just be happy being alone and working on myself, getting help, and not having to have someone there constantly with me to fill that void? Because I've been filling that void with people that take advantage of me and abuse me. Why wouldn't I just be happier alone and single? We can tell these people that are going through those things 1,000 times over what they should do and what is the healthiest choice for them, but if they don't want to do it, you're talking to a brick wall. As with anything when it comes to like addictions as well, if the person you want to break the cycle doesn't want to break the cycle themselves, you're wasting your time and energy. So I do hope that OP gets the help that she needs to break out of this situation, but as of right now, it's not looking too good. Good luck, OP. Thank you for the story. Our next post is by user NoDress9576, titled, Am I the asshole for asking a customer's kid not to touch something? I, 24 male, work at a popular fast food restaurant. I've been working here since this location opened, and I love working here. I like my co-workers, my boss is great, and I've never had any problems with customers until today. We have a self-serve drink machine near the front of the store, and today a family of 3 came in. A mum, dad, and their daughter, who looked about 4 or 5. I was the cashier for the day, and Dad came to take their order, while Mum went to sit down at the benches that we have at the door to scroll on her phone. Their daughter, however, beelines to the drink station. Noticing the daughter about to stick her hands inside the spigot for the iced tea, which is separate from the soda machine, I calmly say, note, I didn't raise my voice at all, they and another family were in the store. Excuse me, little one, could you please not touch that? Mum looked up from her phone, immediately got defensive and yelled at me, Don't yell at my child, I'm right here. You could have just gotten my attention. Now, I get it, stranger danger and all that, don't want strangers talking to your child. However, I needed to stop her before she actually touched it. It's a health hazard, people get drinks out of that, and I don't know where your daughter's hands have been. Your entire family just came from outside. She could have had peanut butter residue or something on her hands, and the next person to drink out of it would have went into anaphylactic shock. And I didn't raise my voice. I used a gentle voice just to get her attention and not contaminate the spigot. I apologized to the mum and explained the above, minus the outside part. She, however, isn't having it and yells at me again that she's right there and not to speak to her child. Dad is right there at the register just waiting for this to finish so that I can take his order. So I apologize to her again and turn to her husband and take his order. As soon as I turn to her husband, she's back on her phone, now with her daughter sitting next to her, hand around the shoulder. Am I the asshole? Should I have done anything differently? I've already told my boss, and after they left, I still disinfected and sanitized the spigot, even though I stopped her before she touched it. I felt like if I did it while she was still there, she would have had another meltdown. In the comments, Remember Glass Ass says, Not the asshole. I would have told her that she needs to watch her child. I spent 5 years at Burger King and a year at Taco Bell. Customers are a huge pain in the ass, and at some point, I just got sick of their bullshit. Like the people coming in asking for water glasses and then stealing soda. I once kicked a family out because their kid wasn't wearing shoes. Yup. It Takes a Village is real. Parenting is preparing your child for the real world, including how to interact appropriately in public spaces with other people. If you don't parent your kids, you don't get to be mad when the world does it for you, and chances are they're not going to care about your feelings or your kids' feelings. Any rational parent would be apologetic and thankful in this situation. Not the asshole. Some people choose not to watch their children and then get upset when someone else says something to their child. Unfortunately, she will not be the last parent that you have to speak to about their child. You did it right, and you will have to do it again. People really need to understand that if you fail to parent your kids, someone else will. This time it was OP, who was very nice about it. Next, it might be someone who doesn't have the patience and kindness that OP has, or someone who has bad intentions. Yeah, you're perfectly valid for your actions in this instance, OP. She's just an iPad mum and doesn't want to raise her kids, because it's much easier to just not do anything, it sounds like. Hospitality workers be damned, you are lower class citizens, you are below me. I, as the mother, am better than you. How dare you try and protect your job and not get fired for not allowing a kid to infect the spigot. I think it's very telling that the husband just didn't do anything in this instance. He didn't even try to shut her down. That's pretty cowardly right there. She's obviously batshit insane, but why did he not de-escalate the situation? Both of these parents are terrible parents. How hard is it to just do the right thing in situations like this? I don't understand. Can we all just not be insane for 2 seconds? Update. Thanks for your feedback. While it may seem obvious that I wasn't in the wrong, I was doubting myself since this was the first time that I've witnessed someone get so defensive over their child doing something wrong. Just the other day, we had a kid climb up on the table after not listening to his mum, but when I gently told him to get down, and did, mum thanked me. So other lady's response kinda surprised me. So today is my day off, and I just got off the phone with my boss. I'm not in trouble, and she reassured me about that. She called to tell me that the mum came back and tried to complain. This is secondhand from her, so some of it might not be accurate. According to her, lady came alone and tried to file a complaint that I screamed at her child and frightened her. I am so glad the restaurant has cameras with audio, so my boss played back the incident for my mum to watch. Boss said that she had to max out the volume because she could almost not hear me over the generic music that we have playing in the store. After the video played, boss says to lady, "So you want me to punish my worker for stopping your kid from messing up all that iced tea? Because if he hadn't, and she successfully did so, I would have made you pay for all the iced tea that she ruined." And she would have. My boss is a short, middle-aged black lady from the South. She knows how to insult people and make it sound like a compliment. Don't worry, she doesn't use this power for evil. Not to mention, we had just made that tea, so the container was near full. Container holds about 5 gallons. Boss said lady got wide-eyed and backpedaled hard on her stance, told her to thank me on my next shift, and left the store, and then called me since she thought this whole thing was ridiculous. And now looking back on it, I kind of agree. I got to enjoy the rest of my day off. Maybe stop by the store and buy my boss something nice. In the comments, Snake JG says, quote, "I work at a popular fast food restaurant. I've been working here since this location opened, and I love working here. Nobody I know who works in customer service has such high job satisfaction. Whatever they're paying OP's boss, they should really increase it, because she's definitely the reason people enjoy working there." Board of directors be like, how about we cut wages so we can make more money? I've heard people say that they love working at retail company, but they usually have a gun to their head when they say it. They're blinking funny, like a weird syncopated pattern, and kind of hard and pointedly. I guess we'll never know what that's about. I've only ever heard people claim to love working retail or fast food if they've 1. Never had another job and have gotten used to how shit it is, 2. They actually live in a magical place where the store and its owners are treated with respect most of the time, or 3. They actually have a decent manager who treats them well and deflects the bullshit for them, and once that manager leaves, they too will leave in a hurry. Yeah, I got my first real job at 14 at Taco Time. I worked there until I was 19, and I loved it. Our boss was great, and we worked hard, but had fun. This was in the 80s when you still had to give good customer service, but the boss wouldn't take rudeness or abuse from anyone. We were expected to treat customers with respect, but she had our backs. I've had about 10 jobs since then and switched careers 3 times, but I still look back with fondness at that job. One of my nieces managed to get behind the counter in a bakery and poke a hole in an entire cake. Luckily, the cake was delicious because, of course, we paid for the whole thing and brought it home and shared it around. If you don't control your kids, you should expect to have to cover the costs. Yup, and kids can be slippery. Sometimes you take your eye off them for 1 second and they've gotten somewhere or into something that they shouldn't have. Shit happens, but as a parent, you need to respond like a normal damn human. Reprimand your child and apologize and offer to pay for any potential damages. The fact that the woman came back later and complained, trying to put OP's job in jeopardy, is what really annoys me. She had time to calm down and think about it, but nope. Deep down, she was mad because she was embarrassed. Nose deep in her phone, probably not a clue about what the kid was up to. It's as if OP had to correct her, and that is why she had a problem. Again, hate her for that. Funny that the manager was able to destroy her so quickly with the video and audio evidence. I would really hope that this is a lesson in how she can be a better mother and to have some self-awareness, but no. The half a brain cell clashing against the sides of her skull won't allow her to have critical thinking, self-awareness, any of that. She will keep blaming others for her own problems, her child will suffer as a result, and, doesn't seem like the dad's going to be doing anything different in this situation because he's already shown that he doesn't care either, so good luck to those kids, I say. That's a nice and prosperous future right there. Best of luck, kiddos. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to end today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.